our kids are going to be taught several things in school. And then they're going to come home and they're going to ask you, hey, Mom, Dad, is this right? Is that wrong? What do we believe? All right. So when we think of creation, there's really four kind of theories that come to mind. All right. Now, the first one that comes to mind is what's written in the Bible. In the beginning, or actually, if you go directly by the Hebrew translation, it is in beginning. So that's the first thing that we should recognize is that if you look at the direct Hebrew interpretation or the Hebrew translation, it does not say in the beginning, it says in beginning, okay, which indicates that this is something else that God has begun, meaning that we are not necessarily the only thing that he is creating. So in that sense, the Orthodox Church doesn't really have an issue in believing that there's the possibility that God has begun somewhere else. All right? The Bible is not the complete history of what God has done. What it is it offers to us what he has done for us here. All right? So that's the very first thing we should recognize is that we are not a church that believes that this is for sure the only thing that God has ever done. So in beginning, he created the heavens and the earth, and in 6 days, and then on the seventh he rested. All right, and then we have the creation of Adam and Eve. All right, so the first one that we have belief is creationism. Creationism is the belief that literally we interpret the Bible in terms of what it says. 6 days he created. And then we go to the Psalms, and the Psalms say, or one of the Psalms say, I think it's 8, says, and to God 1 day is like 1,000 years. So we multiply that out and we say, okay, so roughly then the earth is about 6,000 years old, maybe 7,000, 8,000 years old. All right, so that is creationism. So what that means now is that all the fossilized records that we have found indicate then you say that carbon dating is not correct, and so the dinosaurs and us live together like the Flintstones. Okay, so that is a belief, that is creationism. There is also then the other extreme, which is now Big Bang. So there was nothing, and then there was something. And then we had a Big Bang. So the universe continues to expand and contract, and then in this expansion, now we have an explosion, and now we have all of this particulate matter that now bursts forth from a single source, and one of those matter becomes now our planet, has the ability to sustain life, and evolves through that, and then we come out of that. So we evolve from now lower creations, so we've got a little bit of Darwinism in there too, and so no God is involved. This all happens according to some type of natural law, even to include then the beginning of life, and then us coming out of that murkiness, whatever that is, so that we can evolve into the sentient beings that we are. So that now is Big Bang and evolution. Then we have the middle road, which is intelligent design. Intelligent design says, well, wait a minute now. In order for this to happen, it can't happen by chance. So there is an intelligent designer. Something or someone created all of this. And so it borrows a little bit from creationism, and then it borrows some from evolution and Big Bang, with an unidentified intelligent designer. So that leaves us then with where we are as Orthodox. Where we are in Orthodoxy is that there is an element of truth in each one, but together they form the truth. So there is an intelligent designer, and we know his name. His name is God the Father, who wills creation into existence. The Son, the second person of the Holy Trinity now, is the architect, is the author of creation, who creates as God speaks, and the Holy Spirit that sanctifies and blesses all of this. So we know the name of this intelligent designer. So in creationism, we believe, yes, there is a God who has created, but we do not take the Bible literally in that sense and say that the earth is only 6,000 years old, because that flies in the face of scientific revelatory evidence which indicates billions of years. So we can support that. So we don't support that aspect of creationism. At the same time, the Orthodox Church cannot support that we have evolved from a simple life form and have magically, or whatever you want to say, become thinking, sentient beings aware of our own existence. We can't say that. So what we can believe then is that once God creates now all of the animals, the plants, and us, that from there can be evolution. And we see it today. We see animals that evolve to adapt to their surroundings. We see our own selves that we evolve. What was our appendix for? We don't know. So we believe in evolution post now creation of us as an independent image and likeness of God, a sentient being who recognizes and has the divine spark within us. So the idea for orthodoxy is never to reject and say, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Orthodoxy says there are elements of truth, but the truth now is how the Holy Fathers, specifically St. Basil in this case, in his On Creation, which is a wonderful work if you have a chance to read that. And so we, as Orthodox, believe, yes, there is an intelligent designer. And yes, there is a science that tells us that the earth is billions of years old and that creation has taken a long time. And yes, we believe that there is evolution, but that evolution is not from some kind of simple primus source. It is now two separate things: animals and us as human beings in the image and likeness of God. So I wanted to present that because, again, when your kids go to school, they're going to come home and they're going to ask mom and dad or yaya and papu, and they're going to say, I don't know, what are we supposed to believe? And so I wanted to provide at least a quick synopsis of what Orthodoxy thinks or believes about creation.